There's a fire burn the fire brigade. Tonight we are losing this fight.
All right, Capones, I'm here with another edition of Talking Bull Car. Car, how are you, man?
Afternoon, good evening, and good night, sir. How you doing? All right.
Doing good. Okay, what we're gonna do, and we told you. Oh, he's got his beer. We told you guys last week. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna answer questions from the previous week. So we got some questions. Are you ready for the questions?
I'm all ears, mate.
All right.
All ears.
First question is from JR Gaming. Where do you think Liverpool will be next season after Klopp has made some signings?
I like Liverpool as a football club. Their history is deep. Their best signing has been Klopp himself, Jurgen Klopp. Never seen a manager quite like him. He's got the humour, but also the desire, the personality to lead them into greatness, really. Europa League final will define whether or not what kind of signings they can get next year, because obviously it will be a place in the Champions League. So if they do win it, which I hope they do, they could actually get anybody that they really wanted to because of that manager, Mario Götze, that they've been touted around. Even though he scored 2 goals for Bayern, he could raid Dortmund. Hummels has gone, but there's still a lot of talent there that he could raid. I'm not talking about Patrick Aubameyang or Marco Reus. I don't think they'll go, and I don't think they'll go to Liverpool. I think they'll go to bigger clubs. But I think he can still get Gundogan, maybe, if he doesn't go to Man City, which would be a quality signing. Mkhitaryan, he might be a decent signing too. He would go well with Philippe Coutinho and Robert Firmino.
Well, let me interrupt you real quick. You know, you mentioned Liverpool, you mentioned Royce and Aubameyang not going to Liverpool. They're going to go to bigger clubs. But as much as I hate to admit it, Liverpool is a bigger club.
It is from a point of view of, I'm thinking in the grand scheme of European football more than Dortmund to Liverpool. I'm thinking more the demand for them 2 players will be higher than Liverpool can currently give them. You know, they haven't won a championship in 15 years, maybe. The chances are they want instant success. I think Liverpool, I've written it down here where I think they'll finish this year in the Premier League for next season. Even if they do win the the Europa League, I've written down 5th or 6th. I don't think they'll get Champions League football next year because I think the other teams around them will be too strong. Their development is at year 1, whereas some teams are at year 3 or 4 of their cycle of getting stronger. So I think it will be a development year, and let's not forget he's brought in some quality players already, but there's still a lot of work left to do. So where will they be next season? I'm going to go 5 or 6, maybe higher if they get the Champions League football, and they might nick in a 4th or 3rd, but they won't be challenging for the championship.
Well, okay, I want to play devil's advocate, and this is paining me because I'm arguing in favor of Liverpool, who I can't fucking stand, right? If you're a Manchester United fan worth your grain of salt, you hate Liverpool, which I do. However, I realize what you're saying about when the last time Liverpool won a championship. But when was the last time Klopp won a championship? It's been a lot more recent. He's very successful, and a contract is great. And of course, we all know players tend to go where the money is. But at the same time, trust in a coach plays into that as well, don't you think?
Agreed. Yeah. If you marry your coach, you follow him around. You know, a lot of people have done it, and you see it in English football. Once you meet a coach that trains you correctly and you get on well with, and you have kind of like an understanding with, you tend to follow them around, and they keep on re-signing you. One of the most famous ones in English football is Harry Redknapp, how he used to sign Jermaine Defoe everywhere he went. If they're in that higher plane, Royce could move and Aubameyang could move to Liverpool. I'm not ruling it out. I'm just saying it's unlikely. If they come on the market and one of the bigger clubs get a sniff of them.
But you got to remember, though, too, and I don't want to harp on this one question. We got a couple other questions to hit on. I mean, here's the big thing, too. Quote-unquote big clubs in Europe don't have is that big, fat TV contract deal. And who's to say Liverpool can't pay that kind of money that those players would be looking for? With that contract money, that's why going down this season hurt those clubs more than just going down. That's a lot of bank they're missing out on.
I agree with you to a certain amount that the Sky money, Sky Broadcast, Sky B money will change the face of football and how Premier League sides can compete with the elite in terms of offering them contracts. They were strong before, they'll probably be even stronger. It's just down to whether or not they want to join the club at the end of the day. Do you want to join Liverpool, or do you want to join Man City? Money over history. It's always an age-old argument,
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one. And I really think it's kind of unfair. Not really unfair. I mean, people want to know, but I think it's unfair for us to even give an answer at this point because we have no idea what the signings are. Between now and the end of summer, everything's going to change. Everything we know about or what we think we know about the Premier League is going to change.
Every year it happens every year that there'll be surprise signings. I mean, I've got the top 9 that I predicted just before joining the show, and this is just from how it's going to end. You never know. I mean, a few marquee signings for any Premier League clubs. It changes them from mid-table to top 4 and vice versa. It happens each year. Man United need to do a lot of work, but the likes of Southampton, West Ham will be knocking on this door so hard next year. If Southampton don't sell anyone, they'll be knocking on the door for Europa League. They're already doing it, but trying to make up the step up. You got to forget that Chelsea's had a poor season. Spurs have become such a good squad over the last year that you can't see them getting any weaker. They'll get stronger. Pep Guardiola is going to walk into Man City and turn it all around and just make them unstoppable, I believe.
I totally disagree with that. I totally disagree with that. And I will tell you this right now. Mark my words. Manchester City will be worse off for this. Watch. 3 years, he'll be gone. He'll be gone probably in 2 years, and that team will be worse off. I promise you that. Hey, look. Bayern had the talent. They should have won the Champions League this year. What happened?
They played a very good team in Atletico Madrid.
Come on. They should
have beaten them. They should have beaten Atletico Madrid.
They played a team that doesn't score goals.
I think they should have beaten Atletico Madrid over the 2 legs. They've got enough creativity there, hey, like you say, we're predicting something that's going to be 6 months down the line, and we're talking about it in a year's time, the final results of it. We'll probably look back in a year's time and scroll through all your videos and go, can't believe I said that, and I was right, or I was wrong. But it'll be interesting to talk about. That's what makes football that great, because everybody has different opinions about where teams are going and what influences different managers or players might make to their teams. And that's why we love it, really.
Well, look, before we bore...
We've got to move on to the next question.
Yeah, because I think we're boring the shit out of people at this point. All right, here, question 2 is Collie Walduck. I got 2 questions. What do you guys think the top 4 will be at the end of the season, which you already have at the ready? And then he asked me a question. T-Bone, what 3 things do you think need to happen at United this summer? So go ahead with your top 4 predictions.
My top 4. I'm going to go for Man City champions, Spurs second, Arsenal third, and then I'm going to go with a bit of a resurgent Chelsea as 4th. So no Leicester, I'm afraid, for Champions League. No West Ham, who's moving to the Olympic Stadium with 55,000 fans. No Man United or no Liverpool.
Yeah, you know what they say about opinions. I can't believe you don't have United in there, man. Fuck that. United top 4 next year, baby. All right, one more question. This is from PV Hung 429. What went wrong at Arsenal?
They bottled it again, didn't they? Unfortunately, I haven't got that written down. I haven't got any notes on it.
You don't need notes. You know what makes this funny and entertaining for the viewers? It's the fact that it's off the cuff. Quit doing your damn research.
They played strong enough first half of the season. They were leading to Christmas. Went into Christmas, New Year's. They played too many games with the short amount of squad. Their squad players are not good enough to play games. When you're talking about Flamini, they're not good enough for the back end of the season. He keeps on persisting with Per Mertesacker that's got a turning circle of a small tank. When you get in behind him, there's no thing there. Just Koscielny holds that back 4 together. They need to improve in centre back. Czech had a blinding first half of the season, and then he sloped off. So there's your answer there on the goalkeeping front. I think Bellerin's one of the best right backs in the Premier League. Stick with him. He's brilliant. I'm a big fan of Bellerin. Sanchez and Ozil been playing for new contracts. I mentioned it last year, last episode, that they slumped a little bit and then they rose again. And now, kind of like towards the end, they turned it back on again when the chance had already gone. No doubt they're world class players. Whether or not they're good enough to win a championship on their own, because that's how it is at the moment at Arsenal with their financial position with the stadium and everything else. They've been living off one or two marquee signings and having to let them go eventually. And obviously they've let people go on free transfers like Robin van Persie and a few others can't sustain the way they play football.
Can I say something? I mean, I appreciate you breaking it down like that, but you bored the shit out of me. It comes down to two things for Arsenal. One, Santi Cazorla. He is the glue to that team. He doesn't get enough credit. He is that holding midfielder that keeps everything from breaking down. They've had injuries to Sanchez, but the second thing is this. They choked. They fucking choked. Because even though you say that those players coming off the bench or whatever don't have the talent, bullshit. They have so much pace and so much talent on that field from game to game, match to match, however you want to call it. There's no reason. They play down to the competition, then play up to the competition. And I have to wonder if it's a coaching issue. There, I said it. You want controversy? People love him. Arsene Wenger, they love him. He's done a lot for that club. Look,
The fact that Arsenal are one of my favourite teams, if not my favourite team in the Premier League, so that's probably why I'm going a little bit light. I like Arsene Wenger as a manager. I think he's great. I think if he was to manage me as a footballer, he would be the one I would like him to manage me.
now you're alive. Now you're awake, Carl. I like it. There you are.
So there you go. Maybe I'm a little bit bored. I'll try to play it down.
I'll tell you, I'll be the first to tell you, Manchester United. What's Manchester United going to do? What do they need to do to get in the top four? They need to revamp some shit. Where are they weak right now? Midfield. But they have a lot of young talent. They've got the forward. I think we're good for the next 10 years at the striker position. With Anthony Martial and Rashford, those are two really good young talents. You know, they can put the ball in the net, but we need midfield action. Mata has, you want to talk about pace or lack thereof. Mata, I love him, but dude, he's got zero pace. Zero. We get a player like a Sanchez, not Sanchez obviously, but a player like Sanchez from Arsenal that has the pace to be able to drive that ball upfield, then it's a totally different story. I think there was one more question. It was from Alonso Vasquez. What happened to Aston Villa? Also, who would be an ideal signing to Arsenal?
What happened to Aston Villa, real quick? It's happened over a period of years that they've not signed anybody of quality. Their transfer policy is to bring in foreigners. I say foreigners as in kind of like people from outside leagues that are kind of French nationality normally. Don't know the pace of the Premier League, so it takes them a season to get used to it, and then they normally bomb off or get sold. They're lacking investment. Same with Newcastle. They've made some really terrible signings managerial wise, and when they get a successful signing, they sell it on. I.e., Christian Benteke. It was on the cards what happened to Aston Villa. It was bound to happen eventually.
All right, Carl, so you answered the questions to the fans, but here's the thing. The next segment, the last segment, obviously, because we overran the questions a little bit, no big deal. But you mess with the bull, you get the horns, right? You mess with the bull, you get the horns. All right, we got a question from Darren. And you know Darren, he's a DFL chaser, mad dog, always getting those goal game changers. And here's his question for you. And what you're going to have, hold on, I got to pull out my stopwatch. Because you will have 30 seconds to answer this question, my friend. Now, if you're able to answer the question, he's going to make a small donation to the T-Bone Capone Channel, which is awesome. But if you don't, then he doesn't even want the game changer. He wants us to give away something, a game changer or whatever, to the Capones. So I think that's awesome. That was nice of him. Here's his question. Are you ready? The clock will start once he's done asking the question. All right, so we're here with the first segment of Mess with the Bull. You get the horns. All right, so what we have here is Darren. Darren, how are you doing, man?
I'm good, T-Bone. How are you? My hair kind of looks like horns just now because I Serban, so...
You're in the mode. That's what it is, man. You are in the mode. All right, so go ahead, ask your question to Carl.
My question to you is, name me 2 footballers that have won the Champions League, the Spanish League title, the English Premier League title, and the Scottish Premier League title. If you can name these 2 players, I will donate to T-Bone's PayPal. If not, you can donate a game changer to the community.
That's difficult, man. Yeah. Hey, I thought you said it was easy. It's a quiz question. I've seen it and I've heard it before. It's a quiz question. I can't for the life of me think who it was. I didn't think there was any answer to it. I looked into it and like seriously, yeah.
Let me ask Siri. Hold on. I'm gonna ask Siri. Hold on. Siri, what footballer has won the Scottish League, the Spanish League, the British Premier League, and a Champions League title?
Barcelona is in first place in La Liga.
No shit. So there you have it. Barcelona is in first place in La Liga.
Did he not tell you the 2 people?
No. So here's the deal. He didn't give me the answer, so we don't know. I know you're wrong because you said you don't know.
Darren, congratulations. It's hard for me to admit, but you beat the bull. You didn't get the horns. And I'll be... Do I give it away? Or does the channel give it away?
I'll give it away. I'll take care of a giveaway. I'll come up with something good to give away. So
yeah.
I'll take care of it. In order for you to participate in that giveaway for a chance at whatever we decide to give you, you need to put down in the comments below what you think of this series, what we can do to improve it, and most importantly, give it a big thumbs up. What do you think, Carl? Does that work?
Thumbs up, mate. Big thumbs up.
Big thumbs up. Big thumbs up. All right, look. This episode, it might have run long, but we got a lot of stuff covered. We got to talk about our favorite sport in the entire world, right? Football. So thank you so much, Capones. I really appreciate you sticking with our channel and checking out the diversity of our content. Now remember, if you don't like Talking Bull or if you don't like some of our other segments, that's fine. You don't have to watch them, but I appreciate it when you do. All right, Capones, keep in mind, that's only our 2nd attempt at Talking Bull. We will get better, and all I ask is that you do this. Leave questions down below, and we'll hit those up. What we're going to do with the questions, though, is we're going to be not giving you necessarily an in-depth response, but just a quick boom, boom, boom. That way we can just kind of bounce stuff off each other and have that more of a serious talk, but still have a comedic feel to it as well. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of banter and all that. I appreciate you, and I hope you like this series. Let me know what you think. Remember, we can only improve if you guys let us know about it. Okay? Until next time, T-Bone out.